I grew an actual eggplant, you guys, look. Hey y'all, welcome to Fruition Farm. Today I want to show you my favorite space, the garden. It has exploded. Last time I did a garden tour, there wasn't a whole lot to see. And then I haven't done one for, I don't know, a while. And now there's a lot to see. So I'm going to go and show you everything. I think we'll start at this end and work our way that way. All right, this whole trellis from the whole row from one end to the other is cucumbers. Lots and lots of cucumbers. And they're doing really well. I overcompensated this year because I have had really pitiful cucumber years the last several years. So I planted a lot, and I'm getting a lot. And then on top of what I've planted already, I did something else. I planted like almost 50 more. So I'm gonna have no shortage of pickles on my shelf this year. I think I've already canned 26 quarts of dill chips, plus we have a gallon jar in the refrigerator of refrigerator dill brine that we just keep putting stuff in. On my cucumber row, I actually have a little spot right here of cucamelons, and they are super cute and I like them pretty good. It's the first time I've ever grown them. They are definitely prolific. I had originally had 8 plants and then all but 3 died. So all of this, and they're all going over into the cucumbers on both sides. All of this is like 3 plants. So I learned that I don't need very many of these. Like 2 plants, 3 at the most is plenty. But we've been taking them and picking them when they're a little bigger than that and throwing them in our refrigerator brine, and they're like crunchy little dill pickles when we go and eat them. They're really good. We really enjoy them. There's lots and lots of weeds as well. So all down there I have pickling, and then over here we have slicing, which I've been picking my slicing cucumbers small and pickling them, and then of course the kids are eating a lot too. We do have a little bit on the bottom of the leaves. Some of them we're getting a little bit of, I'm not sure if it's a blight or if it's just from the rain and stuff, but that's okay because I have another 50 plants that are gonna come in pretty soon. Over here I have my tomatoes. So this whole row, I have 3 rows of tomatoes. This whole row is pasting tomatoes, and I have several different varieties. I have some that are indeterminate and then 2 varieties that are determinate, and these are really pitiful. I need to come in here and like, I don't know, they're really bad. Probably should just pull the whole plants out and take them out of the garden because they definitely have some kind of disease. That's just mainly these, which are San Rosana, that just fell off in my hand. And then the Romas are doing okay, but the rest look really good. So I'm not sure. I have some on that my slicing tomatoes at the bottoms are looking bad, but that usually happens. And it might just be that these are low to the ground. The whole bottoms got taken out. So I found that I like the indeterminate saucing tomatoes better than determinate because they seem to be healthier plants in general. On the middle trellis, I have mostly slicers, and then on this trellis, I have mostly smaller tomatoes. There's a few mixed in either way that are not the other, but we have just been coming through. They're just starting to really come on. The tomatoes are. They're really late this year. I've heard that from a lot of people. I mean, we're almost into August, and it's just been the last week or so that we've really been getting tomatoes, and we just made our first batch of sauce out of the saucing tomatoes, and I only got 5 quarts so far. My goal would be to put up like 200 quarts of tomato sauce, so I'm probably going to end up using all my tomatoes and not just saucing tomatoes because I don't think I'm going to make it to 200 quarts by any means. But we're just going to keep plugging at it with that. And then our okra row is doing fantastic, and we have all different stages because we had spotty germination in the beginning, and we ended up planting multiple times. So I have like a baby one down there and a bigger one. These are a little bigger. Down here on this end I have some really big plants that are doing really well, and we just started harvesting okra, and I'm going to eat some because it's really yummy, and then I'm hoping to be able to freeze a lot of it, like just cut it up and freeze it, because we really enjoy okra lots of different ways. This is one of our little okras that's just about ready to harvest. With okra, it's kind of like when they're ready to harvest or almost ready, you check them again that day, not wait till the next day, because if you wait till the next day they'll be like and then they'll be a little bit too tough. But they're doing great. And over here I have my peppers, And these little plants are really fun. So these right here are called Chinese 5-color, and the peppers actually grow upward. And they turn all different colors. They start green and then they turn purple, and they will turn like red and yellow, and there's 5 colors. I don't remember all 5 colors, but there's 5 of them. And then this is a really pretty pepper. It's called the Jigsaw Pepper, and they start out dark purple, and then I think they turn colors too. But they have really pretty variegated leaves. We saw these peppers at the West Virginia State Fair last year, and they have a really, really pretty garden. In fact, the video is on our other channel, the Flip Flop Barnyard, of their garden when we were there, because I had to show it to you guys. But we saw these and decided to get some seeds because I thought they were really pretty. All right, so I have a lot of peppers. I have some chilies, some jalapenos, some banana peppers, and then a lot of bell peppers down there. Just last year we had a really good pepper year, and this year they're, again, like everything else, coming in late. But I anticipate we'll have a decent year. So I still have chilies that I canned last year on the shelf. I think there's like 20 something little half-pint jars. And we actually end up using about a pint at a time. So I'm hoping that my chilies, I use poblanos in with my chilies too. I'm hoping that my chilies and poblanos really come on. And then the bell peppers, I want to chop and freeze them. Last year was not a good bell pepper year, so I don't have any left. Look at this lima bean. That's not a lima bean, guys. That is the tomato. This tomato volunteered here from last year, I guess. This is my little lima bean patch. They're starting to come on. We have some here. I have some lima beans in that bed right over there, and then another bed over there. I haven't had great germination with my lima beans, but I think between the 3 patches, we'll get a decent little harvest to see if it's something that's worth growing for us or not. Not everybody in our family likes lima beans, but hey, it's worth a try. So I have several basil plants. I had one more, but Jack accidentally weed-eated it, so there's that. But anyway, so I have these basil. I've been harvesting basil, and I'm trying this year that I haven't done before. I put it fresh, of course, in my spaghetti sauce, but I'm chopping it and putting about 2 tablespoons of it in ice cube trays with water and freezing it, and then putting them in a freezer bag, so I'll have fresh basil in the middle of the winter. And then over here, we did indeed peed the bed. If you saw that video, we said, will we peed the bed? Derek built me these beautiful beds, and we have planted peas in these 2 beds, and in the bed over here behind you, which is now not behind you anymore, in front of you. So we've got all these peas. Hopefully they do really well. I'll have to trellis them as they come up. But I am really excited about these. And then I'll show you the embarrassment over here. This is a hot mess right here. This is supposed to be popcorn, and there is popcorn in there, but there's also a lot of pigweed. There's supposed to be wildflowers, which there's some. That's bachelor's button. There's a couple little flowers, and then marigolds on the end. We did not get to the pigweed before the pigweed got to us, so yeah, it's not looking too good over here. I'm really excited about these pintos. The plants look terrible because we're letting them dry on the plants. I'm trying to walk backwards and I'm afraid we'll fall. But we do have some bean beetles, so I don't know how much damage is from bean beetles versus the plants are just dying and the beans are going to dry out. But I'm hoping, and we have a lot here, so I'm hoping to get a good little crop of pinto beans. We've canned a bunch of dry pintos that we bought, and these seeds are actually out of the same dry pintos. So if we can get a good little bit to save for seed next year, I'd be very happy about that. And then our green beans are ready to harvest. These Antigua beans we've been known to get 3 pickings off of. I don't know if we'll get 3 pickings this year because we're kind of behind on picking them. So we need to get in here and pick them because I've got a lot here. I still have about 80 jars of quarts of green beans canned. So not getting as much this year won't be a big deal, but probably by next year we're gonna need to get a big harvest of green beans. I grew an actual eggplant, you guys, look. I did buy these. Oh look, there's a bean beetle larva. That's Shecky. Need to kill that. I did buy these from the store because I started eggplants and they all died. They did not do well. So I got these 3 and they've had a rough life. They're not doing all that hot, but they're putting off fruit. So I'm happy with that. And then this cool guy, it's called a Dwarf Tamarillo. And I've never grown it before, but I thought it looked cool. It's putting off flowers, so I will keep you posted on how they taste. But in a climate where you don't freeze, these will actually grow into a small tree. I thought they were really cool. We'll see. I actually have 3 of them, but this one's the biggest. Those aren't not very big yet. One of our favorites, family favorites, is the ground cherry. It's very rare that I actually find any because the kids usually come in here before I do and find them all. Although they do share with me. But we all love our ground cherries. They're really good, and I have quite a few plants up this row, and then a couple more peppers at that end. We are starting to get into squash, and I'm really excited about that. We have this, and then this white scallop squash has gotten huge. There's 2 of them there. We've gotten a ton off of them. I'm gonna try to make some squash relish, but I'm gonna do it like dill, like a dill relish. I'm gonna see how that goes, because I think that if it works, that'll be a really great way to preserve it, and then we can just use our cucumbers for regular pickles. So I have several squash and zucchini in this little area, and then from here all the way down there, that whole section is all brassicas. We put in broccoli, we put in cabbage, we put in Brussels sprouts, and some cauliflower all throughout here. And then over in a bed over there, I'll show you in a minute, we also have more broccoli. So if all goes well, we should have no shortage of our brassicas and plenty of broccoli to freeze for the winter, and I'm super excited about it. So these potatoes are doing okay. We dug one the other day, and there was little potatoes, not much, nothing to write home about, but we decided to go ahead and leave them, and hopefully they'll form bigger potatoes, or they'll grow more, and we'll get a decent harvest. I do think what we've decided is that when we put the mulch down, some of the mulch was fresher than other, and I think that it wasn't quite broken down enough, and so some of the things that went in early struggled more than the things that went in later. I think the mulch is finally at the point where it's really adding nutrients to the soil and not robbing the soil of anything, which we knew was a risk putting the mulch down, that it wasn't quite ready. We were just hoping it would be. And also some of the compost, it was mixed. We had a lot of mixed compost, so we think that too, maybe some of the compost might have been just a little bit hot. But hey, we were doing the best we could with what we had. Same thing with our sweet potatoes. We haven't dug any. They're vining, but I would think by this point they would be doing a lot more bushing out and going crazy. But hey, if we get anything, it's food we didn't have before, so that's exciting. Lots and lots of winter squash and pumpkins. We've had a little bit of a battle with squash vine borers, taking out about probably half a dozen plants. I came back through and put seeds in the holes. There's only a few varieties I still had time to plant, and they're iffy. I haven't seen any germination yet though, so we'll see, but I still think we'll have plenty to put away because I planted a lot. And now, aside from tomatoes, this is the section. Well, I'm really excited about all the sections, but this is another section I'm really excited about. This is my watermelon section. Look guys, look at how big this thing is, and it is still growing. This is a strawberry watermelon. I cannot wait till it's ready. I have been anticipating this for a very long time. This one I believe is a Georgia rattlesnake back here. This is a golden midget, so it actually turns yellow. I've picked 3, none of them have been fully ripe, but they're getting better because I'm learning how to pick them better because they actually turn yellow. Have several left. There's also some Kajari melons. There's a ton like in this forest, and I'm just having to like sort through it and find them, and things are just now starting to get to the point where we can pick them anyways, but I will be very happy when we're bringing in melons on a consistent basis and I can eat it like every day. Hey, do you guys remember we got these fruit trees from our neighbor? These are the peach trees. There's 5 of them that survived, and look how they're thriving. And then Derek got his little fig tree, and it was like this big, and look at it. It's going crazy. So that's really exciting. This seems to be doing well as far as helping them to retain moisture and not damage their root systems. They're doing really well. My comfrey back there, it's doing well. Now my dill, guys. Come on. This little dill patch that took forever to take off is officially taken off. And I have had more fresh dill than I've even needed, which is awesome. I'd rather have more than I need than not having enough. So we have had plenty for our pickles, and I actually need to come through here, and I probably will today, and cut the tops off all of these. And then I'm not sure, I might try the ice cube method with these as well, because fresh dill always tastes better in pickles than dry dill. Look at this dahlia. We have 2 dahlias. These are Emma's, her first dahlias. And look, we have some more blooms coming up. Down here, this one is just beautiful. It's been open for a few days. She probably should come up here and cut these so she can enjoy them down in the house for a little bit. But we've got the dahlias, we got the cosmos, And finally we have zinnias coming in. We really struggled this whole bed. It didn't get compost, and then it didn't get weeded, and so we've struggled to really get flowers, but they're starting to come in and they're beautiful, and we're really excited about those. And our sunflowers are coming in. That whole little patch is really fun. It's not a big patch, but it's still exciting. And we still have this one little Cosmo. It hasn't bloomed yet, but it has made itself at home in this bed, and this is where it's gonna live. So we're happy with that. We have these broccoli over here. They're doing well. I planted this half of this bed with carrots. That bed over there, that's all rutabaga. And then this whole bed is carrots. Hoping, I didn't do the board method with these, but we did sprinkle them with the mulch. I'm hoping that they'll come up. I know carrots are hard to germinate, but I really didn't have anything that I could effectively put over top of these beds. So we're just gonna try that and hope for the best. Here's my little herb garden. For the most part, it's doing really well. The oregano did really well, except for that one. That one died. I'm not sure why. I think it's because it didn't get enough water, and then it rained excessively, so I think it just didn't like starving for water and then drowning in water. But I also cut my oregano and put it in the ice cube tray, and I've preserved some of that. I'm going to keep doing that, and overall my herbs are all doing probably the best in pots that I've ever had herbs do. I've planted some herbs in the garden and they've done well, but like for actually having just intentionally potted herbs, this is the best that I've done with that. And then I have my 2 coneflowers that I really need to transplant because they should be growing flowers and blooming by now, but I guess I haven't put them in the ground. They need more space, so I need to find a spot for them. I hope you enjoyed my garden today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a video. Give us a thumbs up so YouTube will know that you're enjoying this. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. What was your favorite part of my garden? And what are you growing? And I'll catch you on the next one.